Picture this: Bali's pristine beaches, where waves whisper promises of peace, an upscale resort, a mysterious suitcase, and inside, something so chilling it'd make your blood run cold. Forget the paradise you know. We're diving into Bali's darkest shadows. Welcome back to Casual Evil, where we delve into the chilling stories that expose the darkest side of ordinary people committing horrible crimes. Please remember, this video contains graphic content which some viewers might find disturbing. Let's rewind a bit and fly back to Chicago, a sprawling metropolis filled with soaring skyscrapers and vibrant neighborhoods. There lived Sheila von Wiese-Mack, a well-educated woman of 62 years. To outsiders, her life was a testament to accomplishments and poise, but beneath the surface, there were complexities and shadows. Her husband and the father of her daughter, Heather, James L. Mack, died in 2006. Following his death, the relationship between Sheila and her daughter became more strained, with reports of domestic disputes between the two. Heather, at 19, was at the crossroads of youth and adulthood, searching for identity and independence. Her rebellious nature created heated arguments and led her down the path of evil. Enters Tommy Schaefer, Heather's boyfriend, who became a significant figure in Heather's life. Their relationship, filled with the fervor of young love, wasn't seen in the same rose-tinted hue by Sheila. Nonetheless, in order to reconnect with Heather, Sheila decided to take her on a luxury trip to Bali, Indonesia. But as they embarked on what was meant to be a leisurely vacation, no one could foresee the storm that lay ahead. Indonesia's island of Bali, renowned for its serene beaches and lush terrains, has long been a haven for travelers. On August 4, 2014, Sheila and Heather landed on the island, hoping to find relaxation and perhaps a refuge from the mounting tensions back home. Their chosen sanctuary was the St. Regis Resort in Nusa Dua, a location that epitomizes luxury and tranquility. The vast oceanfront views, opulent villas, and impeccable service set the stage for what should have been the vacation of a lifetime. Unbeknownst to her mother, however, Heather had used her mom's credit card to book a ticket and separate room for Tommy to arrive a few hours later. As the receptionist showed a copy of Tommy's passport, Sheila simply stormed out of the lobby. Tommy had never ceased to be the source of contention, and Sheila had always been concerned about his influence on Heather. And as August 12th dawned, the pressures and conflicts reached a tragic climax. Heather drugged her mom with sleeping pills, called Tommy to their room, where he hit Sheila with a fruit bowl repeatedly until she died from asphyxiation caused by a broken nose. In the mid-afternoon, a silver taxi pulled up to the grand entrance of the St. Regis Resort. A suitcase was loaded into its trunk by the couple. They promised the driver they would be back shortly after retrieving an additional bag from their room. However, they never returned. Curiosity turned to concern for the taxi driver. With the suitcase still in his trunk, he approached hotel security. The weight of the suitcase, combined with the odd behavior of the couple, raised alarms. When the suitcase was finally opened, the unspeakable was unveiled. Inside, contorted and lifeless, was the body of Sheila von Wiese-Mack. News of the discovery rippled across the island, making its way to international news outlets within hours. As investigators began piecing together the events leading up to the gruesome discovery, a manhunt for the young couple was launched. Within 24 hours of the grim find, a breakthrough came. Heather and Tommy were apprehended at a nearby hotel, where they had checked in under false names. Their detention set the wheels of the Indonesian justice system in motion. During initial interrogations, a complicated narrative began to emerge. Each presented a version of events that sought to deflect responsibility. Their inconsistent statements, combined with mounting evidence, made their accounts increasingly questionable. One critical piece of evidence was the hotel's CCTV footage. The cameras had captured Heather and Tommy's movements before and after the grisly discovery. Notably, footage showed them loading the heavy suitcase into the taxi, a task that appeared arduous due to its weight. Forensic evidence from the crime scene, Sheila's hotel room, also painted a vivid, albeit disturbing picture. Indications of a struggle were evident, aligning with the autopsy results that later confirmed Sheila had suffered a violent death. While the physical evidence was damning, investigators also delved into the psychological and emotional dynamics of the trio. Several potential psychological triggers and factors can be inferred from this case, but it's important to note that these are interpretations and not definitive explanations. The relationship between Heather and her mother was reportedly strained, particularly after the death of Heather's father. Heather was physically abusive, and there were 86 visits from police to their home from January 2004 to June 2013. Such a volatile environment can foster feelings of resentment, anger, or a desire to escape perceived control. Relationships, especially in younger years, can be incredibly influential. If either party in a relationship has a dominant personality or exerts undue influence over the other, it could escalate conflicts or decisions to act out. The human brain, especially the frontal lobe responsible for decision-making and impulse control, does not fully mature until the mid to late 20s. Impulsivity, susceptibility to peer pressure, and poor decision-making can be characteristic of younger individuals, potentially playing a role in Heather's actions. Heather believed she would gain access to her inheritance upon her mother's death. The allure of financial gain can be a potent motivator, especially if combined with other personal or relational grievances. Being in a foreign country can sometimes embolden individuals to act recklessly, under the mistaken belief that they can evade consequences more easily abroad than at home. On January 14, 2015, Heather and Tommy were both charged with murder, and the trial began amidst a frenzy of media attention. Courtrooms were packed, not just with legal professionals, but journalists and even tourists intrigued by the case that had overshadowed Bali's tranquility. From the outset, the prosecution presented a strong case, leveraging the forensic evidence, witness testimonies, and the critical CCTV footage. They painted a chilling picture of premeditated murder. The motive? It ranged from speculated financial gains from Sheila's estate to the desperate desire for unchecked freedom and independence. The defense, meanwhile, faced an uphill battle. Their primary strategy was centered around painting a picture of a fractured family dynamic. Tommy's lawyers presented him as a young man caught in a tumultuous mother-daughter relationship trying to protect his girlfriend. Mid-trial, Heather's revelation that she was expecting a child added another layer of complexity. As weeks turned into months, testimonies revealed harrowing details of the murder. The defense's attempts to shift blame, combined with the duo's inconsistent accounts of that fateful night, did not favor their cause. And then, in April 2015, Judgment Day arrived. The atmosphere in the courtroom was electric with anticipation. Heather Mack received a 10-year sentence, while Tommy Schaefer was handed an 18-year term. The verdicts, while delivering a sense of closure, also fueled debate. Were the sentences too lenient or just right? The court of public opinion remained divided, but legally, the chapter was closed. Heather gave birth to a daughter while in prison. Due to Indonesian regulations, the child was allowed to stay with Heather in prison until the age of 2. She was eventually sent to the US to live with a relative after reaching that age. Heather got an early release in October 2021, having served only 7 years. She was extradited to the US and arrested in November 2021 on conspiracy and obstruction charges. She entered a guilty plea on 1 count of conspiring to kill a US national. Under the terms of her plea agreement, she now faces 28 years in prison. The judge will hand down the sentencing on December 18 of this year. This tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of human relationships and the dark path it can sometimes take. Thank you for joining us today on Casual Evil. Until next time, stay safe and keep seeking the truth.